We are back, and we're just days away from UFC 321, the night where we find out, is UFC Genie washed? As well as Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, obviously. That takes place the night of as well. But, what we're all tuning in to see, am I washed? Am I going to have 3 bad events in a row? I've had 2 pretty terrible ones in a row with losing records, actually. I think this might be my worst 2-event record run in a while. Of all time, I'll say. I think it's my worst 2 events back-to-back of all time, the last 2. And we're looking to make a massive bounce back. And we're coming back, and we are giving you good picks. And we are not losing. We're going to sweep this card. Listen, we're going to sweep this card. Let me get right into it. I'm telling you who I'm picking. Let me just jump right into it. First fight of the night, we have Jacqueline Amorim versus Mizuki Inoue. 10-1 versus 15-6. Jacqueline Amorim's on a massive run right now. 4-fight win streak. Massive favorite, minus 450. Mizuki, she doesn't fight. This chick has not been seen in 2 years, and before that, she hadn't fought in 3 years. So, she's very inactive in the cage, and she has a reach disadvantage of 4 inches. A massive skill difference, I think. Jacqueline Amorim's going to absolutely wipe the floor with Mizuki, and she's going to submit Mizuki in the first round of this fight. That's going to be my pick. I'm not going to spend too much time on that one, but we are moving swiftly on to Azat Maksum versus Mitch Raposo. 15-2 Azat versus 9-3 Mitch Raposo, both on 2-fight losing streaks. Azat lost to Charles Johnson. Kind of a close fight, but he kind of gassed out. He did knock down Charles Johnson early on in the first round, but then kind of blew his load and then gave up the second and third round of that fight to Charles Johnson. Then he came back against Tagir Ulanbekov. That's a tough bounce back fight for anyone, and he wasn't able to get it done. He had some good moments on the feet, but unfortunate for him. Those are 2 very tough fights to get back-to-back. Mitch Raposo, on the other hand, he just lost to Andre Lima by split decision and Sumaderji by split decision. This guy is kind of a takedown merchant, not much finishing threat, and I think he's outmatched on the feet. The only really chance he has is if he's able to submit Azat Maksum, but he doesn't go for many submissions. He's more of a control time merchant, I'm not even going to lie. And Azat Maksum's at a massive reach advantage of 5.5 inches, 2-inch height advantage. I think Azat Maksum is going to win this fight by decision. I don't see him finishing Mitch Raposo. It's possible because Azat was knocking some dudes out before he lost these 2 in a row. But I don't see him knocking out Mitch Raposo. I see him winning this fight by decision. That's going to be the official pick. We move on. Chris Barnett versus Hamdy Abdelwahab. Chris Barnett, man, people forget, man, this guy broke his ankle last time out before the fight started because he was doing jump squats in the cage. Interesting maneuver by a guy that's probably cutting to make the heavyweight limit. But 23-9 for Chris Barnett, 4-1 Hamdy Abdelwahab. A lot of people don't remember that Jamal Pogues one was kind of a gifted decision win for Hamdy. I don't think he won that fight at all. A lot of the media judges and a lot of the fans that I've talked about that fight also agree with my take. They think Hamdy Abdelwahab lost to Jamal Pogues, and then he went out and he lost to Muhammad Usman his last time out. He's at a 2-inch reach disadvantage here, but he's a little taller than Chris Barnett, a lot younger than Chris Barnett, and I unfortunately see Hamdy Abdelwahab being able to rinse in some takedowns and win a decision against Chris Barnett, or a late finish, something like that. But I don't see Chris Barnett turning back the clock and getting a highlight reel knockout win in this slot. That's really his only way to win, unfortunately for him. I'm going to pick Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. And we move on to the next fight up the card. Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. 10-1 Jose Delgado versus 21-6 Nathaniel Wood. This is a pretty fun fight. I can't lie. This is a pretty fun fight. Jose Delgado came in the UFC off Contender Series where he knocked out Conor Matheus in his first fight in the UFC, and then he knocked out Hyder Emil. He's on a massive run right now. This dude has real power in his hands, I believe. And Nathaniel Wood just beat Daniel Pineda. He just beat Morgan Charrier, actually. Before that, he beat Daniel Pineda. But he's been on a pretty good run. The Muhammad Naimov fight was unfortunate because he kind of got fouled a lot in that fight. There should have been a point taken, and that point taken would have given him the decision. if he got that point taken. So unfortunate for him, but or would have given him the draw, but neither here nor there. It didn't happen. He's fighting a guy with a 4-inch reach advantage, Jose Delgado, and a 5-inch height advantage. He's going to look massive compared to Nathaniel Wood. This is going to be a back and forth war. I see Jose Delgado going to a decision, and I think he's getting his first decision win. I don't think he's been to a decision. He lost a decision one time in 2023. I think he's going to get his first decision win here against Nathaniel Wood. I don't see him knocking out Nathaniel Wood. The dude has really good defense, and I haven't seen this guy rocked or dropped even ever. Jose Delgado, he has real power. It for sure could happen, but I'm gonna pick Jose Delgado to win a decision instead of a knockout here. We move on to the next fight: Valter Walker versus Louie Sutherland. 14-1 Valter Walker versus 10-3 Louie Sutherland. Valter Walker, man, this guy is on a 3-fight heel hook win streak in the heavyweight division, beating the hands of Junior Tafa, Don'Tale Mays, and Kennedy and Chekchikwu. And Louie Sutherland's on a 4-fight win streak right now. This is the first fight in the UFC. He was supposed to fight Justin Tafa a month ago, but Tafa had to pull out because he couldn't make the heavyweight limit. It's crazy. Valter Walker's at a reach advantage, a height advantage of 3 inches, and the younger guy, more potential, more momentum, actual UFC wins. I see him getting another submission win over Louie Sutherland. I don't see... Louie Sutherland hasn't really been tested like this before, and I'm going to ride that streak of Valter Walker ripping out the ankle of Louie Sutherland within half a round. Valter Walker wins by submission in this one. I do see him losing at some point. I don't see it being this Saturday. I think Valter Walker gets through Louie Sutherland. We'll see how that goes, though. Valter Walker by submission. We move on to the next one. Kareem Abdul-Sewady versus Matheus Camilo. 15-4 versus 9-3 Matheus Camilo. Hamdy Kareem Abdul-Sewady. They have it like backwards here. I'm pretty sure it's Kareem Abdul-Sewady. It's the order of his names. I'm pretty sure. People forget, man. But he lost to Lorik Radzhabov 2 years out by knockout. Matheus Camilo just lost to Gabe Green 5 months ago. I see this kind of being a win for Kareem Abdul-Sewady, an easier win. This dude was up on the numbers on Loik Radzhabov before that knockout happened, and I think he still is underestimated. He had a good win over George Hardwick on Contender Series. Like, that's a very good win, and Matheus Camilo just hasn't shown me that much potential about him. I don't really love his striking, and I see Kareem Abdul-Sewady being able to beat him up on the feet to a decision victory. That's going to be my pick. We move on to the next one. Mateusz Rebecki versus Ludovit Klein. 20-3 Mateusz Rebecki, coming off of a loss to Chris Duncan. Very close fight with Mick Tikbek-Oralbai. That was a barn burner. All-out war, back and forth. Ludovit Klein coming off a loss to Gamrot. Before that, he was on a massive win streak, though. He had just beaten Roosevelt Roberts, Thiago Moises. How big was the run of Ludovit Klein before that? It was it was just the 4 fights there, and then the draw to Jai Herbert. But he was putting himself together, man. He was looking really good. The teeps, the body shots. I do like Ludovit Klein's striking. He looked a bit too reserved on the feet for Mateusz Gamrot, but that makes sense. He thought he was going to get taken down. He did get taken down, and I don't see him being that reserved on the feet with Mateusz Rebecki. I think this is going to be a fucking war. Back and forth. There's going to go all 3 rounds. There's going to be a really close fight, and Ludovit Klein is going to sneak home a decision. He's at the same height, but he's nearly 7 inches tall, or 7 inches longer reach than Mateusz Rebecki, pretty much. And that's pretty sizable. I see Ludovit Klein being able to keep him at his jab. I wish they showed leg reach too, because I feel like his leg reach is also different than Rebecki. Those teeps are going to be an issue for him. I swear, those teeps are going to be a big issue for Mateusz Rebecki. I see Ludovit Klein really putting it together on the feet, taking home a decision victory. We moving on to the next fight: Ikram Aliserov versus Jung Young Park. 16-2 Aliserov, 19-6 Jung Young Park. 3-inch reach advantage for Ikram Aliserov and a 2 or a 3-inch height advantage as well. Coming off of a win over Andre Muniz by knockout. Before that, he lost to Robert Whittaker in the first round by knockout. The last loss of Jung Young Park was a split decision to Andre Muniz, and then he beat Brad Tavares and Ismail Nardiev. But Nardiev had Jung Young Park hurt bad in that fight, and then kneed him when he was on the ground and got a point taken away because of it. That's what happened in the fight. Nardiev was doing really good on the numbers and kneed him in the head when Jung Young Park was down, got a point taken, and Jung Young Park won the fight because of that. I think Jung Young Park's starting to regress, and I think Ikram Aliserov, I mean, he's the moderate favorite anyways, but I think he's going to get this done relatively easily in the first round, come out unscathed, and he's going to get a highlight reel knockout over Jung Young Park, who's been hurt and pretty badly in the UFC before. So yeah, I'll pick Ikram Aliserov by early knockout in the first round. That's going to be the pick. We move on to the next one, which is Nasrat Haqparast versus Quinlan Salkeld. 18-5 Nasrat Haqparast versus 9-1 Quinlan Salkeld. Now listen, I like Quinlan Salkeld. He did really good against Yanel Ashmuth. He looked really good against Anshul Jubli on Contender Series even. But this is a massive step up for Anshul Jubli, and I don't know if I like how quick they're feeding him to the wolves of this division. Nasrat Haqparast is a beast, and he's on a huge run right now. Won his last 5 fights. This dude is on an insane run right now. He just beat Esteban Ribovic. Whatever you think about the decision, it was a really close fight. Whoever you scored it for, it was a really close fight. And for him to have that close fight with Esteban Ribovic speaks volumes to how good Nasrat Haqparast really is. Jared Gordon as well. Jeremy Malarkey. Landon Quinones. John McDessie. John McDessie, I mean, that's not a great win. Landon Quinones, Jamie Malarkey, they're not incredible wins. Jared Gordon and Esteban Ribovic are really good wins. And Nasrat Haqparast has been around the block for a long time in the UFC. But Quinlan Salkeld does have a 3-inch reach advantage and a 3-inch height advantage. But I see Nasrat Haqparast getting this done, man. He's got good IQ. I think he's going to win this with a good game plan. He's going to win this fight by decision. He's going to figure out Quinlan Salkeld. He might give up the first round. But I think Nasrat Haqparast is going to set on Quinlan Salkeld, and he's going to end up winning a decision. This could be a close fight, but I'm just not fully sold on Quinlan Salkeld yet. If he wins this one dominantly, man, I'll stand corrected. I'll hop on that hype train maybe, but Nasrat Haqparast is a very tough fight to get after you just beat Yanel Ashmuth, who Quinlan Salkeld would have had a massive reach advantage over Yanel Ashmuth. Like, let me just pull that up real quick, just to make sure. 7-inch reach advantage over Yanel Ashmuth, and now it's like a blow closer with only a 3-inch. Like, he still has the reach advantage here, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like he's going to be fighting T-Rex arms Yanel Ashmuth. Nasrat Haqparast is going to make this a very tough fight for Quinlan Salkeld to win. So I'm going to pick Nasrat Haqparast. I love the odds. They're near even. I would expect Nasrat to be a minus 200 in this fight. I would expect Quinlan Salkeld. You should be able to get underdog money on Quinlan Salkeld. But I feel like he's getting juiced up a bit too much for my liking. I'm going Nasrat by decision. And we move on to the first fight of the main card, which is Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. 14-5 Rakic versus Murzakanov 15-0. Rakic has a 6.5-inch reach advantage here over Murzakanov, but he's lost his last 3 fights. Murzakanov is getting up there in age. He's 36 years old, 5'10", 71.5 inches of reach compared to 78 and 6'4 for Rakic. Rakic is much bigger. He's much bigger. Much bigger. This is worrisome. I just don't feel like Rakic has really been that same fighter since he ripped his knee apart in that Jan Blachowicz fight. But he did go all 3 rounds with the former champion Magomed Ankalaev. But how much are we really rating that? Like, Ankalaev is a fucking... He folded in 1 round, you know? So, I'm a little worried about this one. But listen, I'm going Azamat Murzakanov. Like, Rakic, his leg kicks are very good. He is good at keeping people at range, using his size. But Murzakanov is very... He gets that, like, he kind of waits for the perfect opportunity, and he lands a really good, powerful strike, and he's able to put someone out with very few shots. And he's on a massive run. 15-0, beating Brenton Ibero, Alonzo Menefield, Jacoby. Like, he's beating the guys, man. And I get it, he's at a massive reach disadvantage here, but I gotta keep riding that train, and Rakic is... His back's to the wall, so, I mean, you could pick Rakic because his back's to the wall, he's fighting for his job, 3-fight losing streak, but listen, I just feel something's gonna happen. I feel like Murzakanov is gonna put him out. This one, I'm worried. Yeah, I've got to go with Murzakanov here. I like Rakic. He's good. He's able to land nice leg kicks. He might win this first round. He might keep Murzakanov at bay for a bit, but he's way too plotty, man. I think Murzakanov is going to be able to, in the second round, if he loses the first, he's going to be able to find that strike. I feel like Rakic is going to gas out before Murzakanov does, and Murzakanov is going to win this fight by TKO within the first 2 rounds. That's going to be my official pick. I can't go with Rakic, man. I do understand why you would pick him. There is reasons to, but I'm not picking him. I'm picking Murzakanov. That's the official pick. We move on. Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. Very fun fight. 38-11 Volkov versus 22-3 Jailton Almeida. Volkov with a 1-inch reach. He's coming off a loss to Cyril Gane by split decision, where he should have won that fight. Realistically, he should have won that fight. He's at a 4-inch height advantage over Jailton, a 1-inch reach advantage. I just said that. But listen, Volkov is obviously better on the feet. This fight really comes down to, can he keep Jailton Almeida off of him for the majority of this fight? Because I feel like Jailton Almeida his takedowns are crazy. Like, he averages 6.5 takedowns a fight. 60% takedown accuracy. He's very dominant with his wrestling. That is his path to victory. And Volkov, he does have pretty good takedown defense. 72% takedown defense. In this Cyril Gane fight, he stopped 1 or 2 takedowns of Cyril Gane. But Cyril Gane doesn't really land takedowns the same way that Jailton Almeida does. Stopped a takedown from Pavlovich. I doubt Tai Tuivasa shot one. Romanov, he stopped a takedown of Romanov. Aspinall was able to get him down at 100% takedown percent. Though that's Tom Aspinall though. Marcin Tybura doesn't look like he missed 16 takedowns in that fight. Fuck. Listen, I'm going Alexander Volkov. I understand Jailton Almeida has the wrestling advantage for sure, but he's not going to be able to take down Volkov. Volkov stopped 16 takedowns of Tybura. That's insane. He beat Cyril Gane in his last fight. I don't care what the judges said. He beat Cyril Gane in that fight. It was the clearest 2-3 I've ever seen in my life. It was the clearest 2-3 for Alexander Volkov I have ever seen in my life. Couldn't have been an easier fight to score, and they still mess it up. And Dana White says he's going to treat him right after that, and they gave him Almeida. This is the treat him right, because Almeida cannot strike for shit. Volkov is going to deny the takedowns, and on the feet, Almeida at that point is a sitting duck to be put out by Alexander Volkov in the second round. TKO win for Alexander Volkov in round 2. He's going to stop the takedowns and beat up Almeida until Almeida quits this fight. That's what it comes down to. Volkov is going to be the better striker on the feet. There's no way Almeida wins this fight on the feet. There's just no way he competes with Volkov striking. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Volkov has very elite takedown defense, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder after he got screwed over by the judges in that last time out. He's going to have he has to make his mark here, you know? So he's going to come back out, deny the takedowns, beat up Almeida on the feet, score a second round TKO win. Alexander Volkov wins this fight. He's stopping those takedowns, man. We're going Alexander Volkov round 2 TKO win. That's the pick. We move on. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. 18-1 Nurmagomedov. He just lost to Merab. But people forget, man, he won those first 2 rounds. He broke his hand and could not keep up the pace in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Feel like part of it was also the broken hand. But 16-2 Mario Batista. He just upset Patchy Mix. Beat Jose Aldo by split decision. But, I mean, he robbed Jose Aldo. I feel like Jose Aldo should have won that fight. Ricky Simone he beat. Damon Blackshear. He has beat pretty good guys. The same reach advantage. The same reach, 69 inches. Mario Batista's 1 inch taller, 5'9". But listen, Umar Nurmagomedov is going to win this fight. He's going to take down Mario Batista. There's just no stopping Umar. Even, like, the only way you can stop Umar is if you break his hand. I don't see his hand getting broken again, man. I see Umar putting it back together. He needs another win. He needs 2 more wins before he gets a title shot again. 1 or 2 more. He's going to be calling for a title shot, you know. But it's actually going to be 1 more fight after this until he gets a title shot. There's no way he gets it off of just Mario Batista. But I do see him winning this fight. I think his wrestling's way better than Mario Batista. Mario Batista keeps getting underestimated, but I just don't love his striking. I don't like the cage holding, and he's not going to be able to do that against Umar Nurmagomedov. So his path to victory's out of there. His path to victory's gone. So I'm going with Umar Nurmagomedov. This is going to be a obvious decision victory. And that's the official pick. And we move on to the co-main event. Virna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern 2. This is a rematch. Mackenzie Dern won the first one what year was it exactly? It was a couple years ago at this point. It was 2020. December of 2020, man. What was going on in December 2020? Not much. But 1 inch reach advantage for Jandiroba. 1 inch height advantage for Mackenzie Dern. 5 years younger for Mackenzie Dern. But Virna Jandiroba is on a massive run, beating pretty good competition too. She won her last 5 fights. Yan Xiaonan, she just beat. Amanda Lemos, she submitted in the 2nd round after kind of beating her up on the feet as well. And Mackenzie Dern, she's on a 2-fight win streak, but she lost 2 fights in a row before that. I don't have full faith in Mackenzie Dern, man. She's the favorite in this fight. A lot of people are picking her to win. I just don't see it, man. I understand the love for Mackenzie Dern. Believe me, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of her. But her striking does not look good. You go back to that Andrade fight, which I feel like is a pretty close comparison to the Virna Jandiroba fight. Hear me out. Virna Jandiroba is an elite grappler the same way Andrade is. They kind of deny each other, Mackenzie Dern and Andrade. Andrade was able to keep her on the feet, and that is where Andrade won the fight. She knocked her out, obviously. Virna Jandiroba, if she keeps this fight on the feet, I feel like Virna Jandiroba has sneaky boxing, very sneaky, good boxing. A lot of people underestimate. I've been sold. The past 2 fights on Virna, I've been absolutely sold. I'm a fan now. I picked her to beat. I think I picked Amanda Lemos actually, but that's when I was swayed. When I saw her beat up Amanda Lemos on the feet and then submit her, it really changed my opinion of Virna Jandiroba. And then I picked her to beat Yan Xiaonan, and obviously she kind of got outstruck a bit. But Yan Xiaonan is a crafty striker, very good, one of the best in the division. Virna Jandiroba took her down at will as well. Submission attempts, very good performance by Virna Jandiroba. But there was actually very little striking in this Amanda Lemos fight. But Virna Jandiroba, look at that. Total strikes, 15-5. That's what I'm thinking here. The significant strikes is way off here, but Virna Jandiroba was outstriking her like crazy in that fight. And I feel like she's improved more in the last 5 years than Mackenzie Dern has. I feel like she's actually changed up how she fights. Like, she's a very dark horse of the division. You never really know how to approach a Virna Jandiroba, who is a very good on the ground. Like, she's very good on the ground, and her striking's pretty crafty. She's good defense. I feel like Virna Jandiroba is going to win this fight. It's going to be close. Might go all 5 rounds. I'm picking Virna Jandiroba to win this fight. It's going to go all 5 rounds, and I think Virna Jandiroba's winning on the scorecards. Maybe a split decision. I could see a split decision, like some very wonky scorecard. This is going to be a close, contested fight, I think. But it's going to come down to Virna Jandiroba denying the takedowns, keeping on the feet, and she's going to win on the feet. And Virna Jandiroba is taking home a decision victory, possibly split. She's going to be the champion. She's the underdog. I feel like that's actually a pretty good bet, taking her as an underdog. I could see her closing as a bigger underdog as well after some of the more casual audience picks Mackenzie Dern after they see her, this week. I mean, you know what I'm talking about here. But I'm going Virna Jandiroba. I just think she's going to be a bit more well-rounded than Mackenzie Dern, who is going to be relying on her grappling, I think. So yeah, that's the pick. Virna Jandiroba decision. We move on to the main event of the evening. Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Oh, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. 15-3 Tom Aspinall, 13-2 Ciryl Gane. 3-inch reach advantage for Ciryl Gane. That is interesting. 1-inch height advantage for Tom Aspinall. But Tom Aspinall, 3-fight winning streak since that knee injury. Ciryl Gane, 2-fight winning streak since he bitched out of John Jones. And before that, only a 1-fight winning streak before he couldn't get off the mat from Francis Ngannou. You couldn't stop a takedown of Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, the known elite wrestler, Francis Ngannou. You couldn't stop the takedown of him when it mattered most. You couldn't stop a takedown. You couldn't get out of a guillotine when it mattered most. You couldn't even try to fight the grip when it mattered most. You tapped immediately. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, is that fight over? Yeah. 1 round against John Jones by submission. You made him look like a killer when he hasn't looked like that in years. That was the worst performance I've seen in my life. And listen, people forget, man, I was a fan of Ciryl Gane. I have to make this point that I was a fan of Ciryl Gane. I was rating this guy. I was posting this dude in my story. I was fucking gassing this dude up like crazy. Oh, he's going to beat Francis Ngannou. This guy's going to bring legitimacy to heavyweight. Oh, he moves around like a lightweight. Oh, have you seen this guy's movement? Have you seen his striking? Oh, he's the LeBron of heavyweight. These were real things that I said. And looking back, insane statements, some of them. Insane statement, insane glaze. Ciryl Gane was never that good. He was never that good. And this guy has no warrior instinct. He didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall in 2023 before Tom Aspinall had the belt. Tom Aspinall had to go fight Marcin Tybura instead. So that speaks volumes to Tom Aspinall's warrior spirit, which he doesn't have. Or Ciryl Gane's warrior spirit, which he doesn't have. Tom Aspinall, that dude's a fucking killer. And I get into Tom Aspinall, who's going to knock out Ciryl Gane in the first round of this fight. Tom is a very elite boxer. And listen, Tai Tuivasa knocked down Ciryl Gane with an overhand from hell. And I get it, that overhand's going to knock down anyone. But if Tai Tuivasa's knocking you down, what do you think Tom Aspinall is going to do to you? This dude has the shortest average fight time in UFC history. No one's been better than this guy. Ciryl Gane didn't want to fight him before he had the belt. Why didn't he want to fight him before he got the belt? Tell me. Why didn't Ciryl Gane want to fight Aspinall in 2023? Was it because he knew he would lose that fight, and now that it's beneficial to him and that he gets a title shot off of it, he's like, oh, Maybe I'll take that fight now. He took a movie role instead. He's been doing nothing, sitting at home playing FIFA. This guy's inactive. This guy doesn't care about his career, and he's going to get put out bad by Tom Aspinall. In the first round of this fight, Tom Aspinall is running through Ciryl Gane the same way he's been doing to everyone else. I could see Tom Aspinall taking him down and submitting him, though. That could also happen. So, instead of me just picking Tom Aspinall by KO, I am also going to pick the under 0.5 rounds, because that's going to pay out huge in this fight. This fight's not going long. Tom Aspinall is going to figure out a way to put Ciryl Gane out of there in the first round very quickly. Whether it be knockout, whether it be submission, Tom Aspinall wins this fight under half a round, and that's the official pick. Ciryl Gane has no fucking warrior instinct. So yeah, there's no way I'm picking this dude to win a fight anymore. There was a day where I called Ciryl Gane one of my favorite fighters, and that day's long gone. This dude, he didn't even win his last fight. This dude shouldn't even be in this position. He didn't even win his last fight. He lost to Alexander Volkov, and now he's getting pushed up against Tom Aspinall. Is going to send him to the curb for the garbage man to pick up. Tom Aspinall is winning this fight in the first round. That's the official pick. That's every fight on this card. And listen, I'm not washed. We will come back this Saturday better than ever. I'm going to have a blockbuster card, monumental. We are putting the numbers back on the board. I am bringing it back. Listen, the last 2 weeks were something, for sure. The last 2 weeks were something. I did pretty bad. A lot of people did bad for picks. I did really bad for picks. It happens, you know. It's the way MMA goes. It's the way UFC goes. It just happens sometimes. Listen, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. Tom Aspinall is bringing all of my money back, and I can't wait. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.